have a question for the group. As all of you know, I am relatively new to yoga, and initially I had some hesitation because there's a belief out there that yoga is a religion. So my question to the group is, can we talk a little bit about, is Amanaska Yoga a religion?
To really give you a fitting answer to this question, we have got to be suspicious about the ground from which this question has probably arisen. We live as grandchildren of the Age of Enlightenment, and the so-called Age of Enlightenment happened in the 16th century in Europe, and that process was really nullifying man's dependence on religion and on God, and man beginning to resolve every problem in his inner life and in his outer life through the application of his intellect and all the resources he has at his disposal. And so after the so-called Age of Enlightenment, implicit in every activity of man is the turning of his back on religion, especially Christianity, because Christianity was kind of holding all the hearts of the Europeans. And when Christianity overdid that act of holding everybody captive, then the human hearts rebelled. And then they wanted freedom and they wanted independence. So they broke loose from the stranglehold of organized religion. And therefore, there is what we may call is an antipathy to religion and a suspicion of religion. And because religion is seen not as a higher transcendental truth, but rather as a method of controlling individuals in a society and making them conform to a pattern which is to the benefit of organized religion, but not to the benefit of the individual. So because of the Age of Enlightenment, and we being the great grandchildren of this age, anything which is kind of falling into the domain of religion seems to be suspicious to modern man. Therefore, when the question is asked whether Amanaska Yoga is a religion, the question already suffers from a prejudice that religion is bad. And therefore, I want to go to the etymology of religion, which means that religion is actually binding yourself to the divine, which is the source, and re plus ligare, to bind. So it is rebinding, and in the rebinding, in the whole concept of a rebinding is implicit the idea that the binding is broken, that you're broken off from the source, you're broken off from your divine father and divine mother, and therefore to find the true completeness and the true wholeness, you've got to find the source of your being, which is in God and in the divine. So religion, therefore, in the light of this etymology, seems to be the highest aspiration and the highest goal of man. It ought to be, at least. And therefore, when we have turned away from religion, we should see that as not the fall of man mentioned in the Bible in the book of Genesis, but we should view this as a second modern fall of man. So the question arises from the fall of man. And therefore, the question is really jinxed. Now, coming back to the inner essence of the question, as to whether Amanaska Yoga is a religion, I would say that anything which deals with the soul of man, which deals with the divine self of man, has got the same direction which the religions have, namely to bring man home to the divine. So in that sense, I would say Amanaska Yoga is unashamedly a religion, because that is the noblest quest of man, and anybody moving away from that quest has no idea at all as to what religion really is and what religion really ought to be. So in that sense, Amanaska Yoga deals with the creation of the religious mind and with religious consciousness.
I have a question here. You said the Christianity, the Christians throughout the religion. Did that happen to all the other religions as well?
Oh, this is an extremely interesting question. And you see, the Master Krishnamurti is very skeptical and of organized religion. He is not skeptical of the soul of every religion because his life was a truly religious life. But if you look at organized religion was more like an army or a navy, enlisting people and making them servitors and increasing their numbers so that the power of the organized religion increases in commensurate measure. That's what the organized religions are doing. And to go a little further, implied in this expansion of the followership is the more ugly truth that the profit of the organizing religion increases as the numbers increase, and much to the detriment of the very purpose of religion, which is to soothe the soul and to make it aware of where it came from and where it ought to go. It ought to go to the divine or to go to the source. The other religions, for example, Islam is also very controlling, and Hinduism is not controlling at all. It gives you immense freedom. So it gives you such immense freedom that you can make any sense of religion to the extent that you require to kind of soothe your own soul. So Hinduism does not suffer from the evils of organized religion, but and Buddhism also does not suffer from the evil inherent in organizing religion, because the Buddha said, every one of you is a potential Buddha. Now work out your salvation. He never said, follow me. The Master Krishnamurti never says, follow me. But the religions overtly or covertly are saying, please follow me. And this is good for you. And that's the problem with the religion. Though the soul of the religion is the incandescence of truth. And therefore, I think the other religions may not have gotten so tyrannical. And the religions which have become tyrannical, along with Christianity, they may face the problem which Christianity faced in medieval times during the Age of Enlightenment. But I don't want to comment on it because that falls outside the purview of our discussion.
Thank you very much.